from the Philosophicat. Hello. Thank you for the help. And email and just always being polite again, which I'm not used to from humans, and not kicking me off the live talk. It's very helpful. It's very hard. If you've ever felt that, for want of another word, that negative energy, black energy, negative energy, if you've ever felt, then you know what it's like. And people that have never felt, then there's no point really explaining. It's like explaining flying saucer or aliens. There's no point even explaining it. But if people do know what that feels like, then then you know what I'm on about. And that came through in the chat probably. But yeah, so despite what it may sound like, I don't actually agree with all or a lot. There's some that believe in the system, and whatever the system says, for whatever reason. There's some that'll fit in, some people might use the word Uncle Tom, that fit into neurotypical society, things like that, or yeah. Anyway, so when you said explain my identity without using the A word, yes, that will be difficult, although not impossible to say, because I don't base 100% of my identity, even though it came across in the chat, on that. Even if it might seem that way or come across that way, I have my disagreements with a lot. My number one identification is as me, as an individual, rather than, although I know you've got non-duality and everything, and I know all, you've got that aspect of it, but I just mean in the Western sense of the word, like in layman's everyday terms. Identify as me rather than all autistic people. Because I do my thing, my own. I always invent my own thing, do my own way, rather than anyone's way, whether they're neurotypical or autistic. So yeah, I could try. I could say I'm Dutch, or I could say I'm male or whatever. But it's like, well, isn't that the same thing as just saying that anyway? Because it's very worldly identifications. So could you describe your identity without describing, your ethnicity or gender? Maybe you could, I don't know, but it would be very difficult. It's the same. Although, as I say, I can. I suppose I identify most with maybe the spirit or the mind or the soul. That's probably my most identification, or one of my most. Again, despite what it might sound or come across like when I say things, it's identify most with the spirit, or the my inner core, and my mind and my spirit, I think, is what really sets me apart. And mindset, and the way I analyse and evaluate things. That's what really makes me unique, and my gift's unique. It's not purely the non-physical disability, or or my height or anything like that, or my frame size. It's not those things. It's a lot more my mindset, my attitude, my soul, spirit. That's what really makes me unique, and my gifts and skills unique. But yeah, that's just quick. I'll just wrap it up now, just 5 minutes. But thank you for the email and the chat, and yeah, thank you. And just quickly, just half a minute on this. When I said interview, I didn't mean that. I just mean talking, cross-channel talks on YT. That's all I meant. I don't really know what word you say for it, but that's what I mean. And I'm happy to talk to your channel or your channel to be on my one or whatever. I'm happy to talk to anyone in the resistance really, but yeah, things, because I'm more energy based, and you'll understand this. I'm very into Western mysticism and sixth sense and things, so you'll understand all that very well. I think you're probably one of the only people that, possibly one of the only people that will really understand what I'm talking about when I talk about sixth sense and energy and Western mysticism. A lot of people might not get that. Maybe they will, maybe they don't, but I'd be surprised. We'll see anyway. We'll see. But just thanks, and thank you for the help.